Alright, so there you go.
Waste of your last words.
Alright, he's dead. Yo, what's up people, it's your boy Pete, also known as CAPTAINP67. We're out here with the super crazy OP, very unique, hybrid, next level Technomancer build. Just a quick heads up, obviously, if you haven't checked out my other guys, I've done builds for every other class in the game. So again, I was the first one to do the Devastator build with the 4 Impales and the 3 Earthquake builds. If you haven't checked that out, that's on 3,000 views right now and 60 something plus likes, so I'll link that in the description below. I also done my own hybrid Shield Beast God build video for the Trickster as well. Again, anomaly power plus the firepower base, a million. Crazy, you need to check that build out as well. Then I was the first also one to do the Pyro, Feed the Flames eruption build. Everyone was going for the normal Ash overheat, but I was doing the Feed the Flames original build as well. So definitely check that out. But today I have a super crazy build, like I said before. And you'll see why when I go through everything, but it's been highly requested on Reddit, YouTube. I'm getting constant comments from Reddit, YouTube as well, asking about the build, how it's built. And it's a very unique build. No one's done a build like this whatsoever. All my builds are original. Check the dates and the timestamps. You can see that for yourself when I first released them. The day after the patch came out, I did 2 God build guide videos for them, and I've been doing builds ever since then, plus breakdowns as well. As you'll see in the intro, we're doing 31 million off 1 grenade, which is absolutely insane. Then on top of that, we killed the bosses in under 10 seconds. So like Moloch was like 8 seconds. We killed the spider boss in 8 seconds. Detonator under 10 seconds as well. You can actually one-shot everything in this game with this build. So you can one-shot every single boss, or call it one rotation, but it still classes as a one-shot. 4 grenades will literally kill any boss in the game. You can even do it to the Arbiter, as long as you get the Arbiter in a certain position. But I've included all those clips for you to see how the build works, like in optimal, unoptimal, and just how it does in general. So we'll go through everything top to bottom. So again, if you can actually see me, we're sitting on a 1.2 million base anomaly power and 343 firepower. And I'll go through the armor sets, everything with you, and I'll cover everything. I'll put the links in the description below so you can see the other builds if you want to relate to those and see those, and how god tier those are. But definitely you want to check this build out for sure. So I'm going to go through everything step by step, but if there's anything I missed, I've just done a 5.5 hour stream. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I also done a YouTube video before this, so I'm just very busy and swamped. So if there's anything I haven't covered, you want me to cover, just join the stream, ask questions there, or just contact me directly and I'll cover anything for you. But let's get into it, because again, this is just a super phenomenal build. Again, and it's all original, and I put a lot of time and work and effort into this, as well as I do with all my builds and my guides as well. Again, we won't have any dead mods whatsoever, so I'm not going to be here talking about this. There's going to be no dead mods. It's going to be full to the point, and it'll show everything for you. So, off tops, we're using the torrential downpour goggles off the top. It's got anomaly power, status power, cooldown reduction. 3 perfect things you need for this build. Where I've got bigger sector in there, so launch rockets cover 45% more damage in the area. More traps for the scrapnel. 1 additional mine can be thrown for triggering cooldown. Now with this build, it's absolutely nuts because we've got 4 anomaly buffs in the build. So it's an anomaly based build, and we've got 4 anomaly buffs in there. The first anomaly buff is danger close, grants 6% anomaly power bonus for each enemy in close range. Stacks up to 4 times. We're sitting off a base of 1.2 million, so you can work out the percentage for yourself off base, but that's before any buffs are added. The next section we got is the torrential downpourer's armor, which has anomaly power, status power, cooldown reduction. So we've got trap cluster, doubles the number of mines that will be thrown before triggering the cooldown. No resistance against fortified. Increase your resistance piercing by 65% of your armor piercing value. Cannonade, increase the number of rockets launched as well, which is by 10. If we quickly go over to here, we'll be doing 696,000 per rocket off base. When we get our buffs, it goes up to the millions, so you can work that in with that. So those additional rockets, so potentially 10 more rockets will do 10 more million damage minimum. For the third piece, we've got Torrential Downpour's leg armor to give us that 3-piece bonus. We've got Anomaly Power, Skills, Life Leech, Status Power. Power Simulation boosts your Anomaly Power by 98,000 for each elite present on the battlefield. Sometimes it can be multiple. Again, you're going to go into the millions off base, which I've already shown. Another thing I'll also include is my trials run with this build, and I'll show you how I dominated done that and just blew up the whole map pretty much, because that's what it is, like a build. It splits you like a World Breaker Techno build. It's that crazy. That's how strong it is. More damage increases skills damage by 753,000. Again, we are sitting on 4.4 million off base of Scrapnel. Off base without any buffs. So one throw does 4.4. And then with the bonus of the set we've got included, read the bottom. Scrapnel creates an additional cluster bombs after an explosion, each dealing 1.3 million anomaly power scale damage. It does 4 Scrapnels off that. So if you're doing 4.4 million off one Scrapnel throw, then you're doing additional 1 point, when it shows up, 1.3 on top of that. So you get your 4.4 plus 1.3 times 4, add that onto the 4, that's for one Scrapnel. So you're talking about 8 million off one Scrapnel, plus you got 4 of those, and the cooldown is ridiculous, which I'll go for you as well. On bottom piece of that, we've got deal 60% more damage against enemies afflicted by freeze, which I'll go through the whole set, and it all sinks in. It's a very meticulous set, and it's very meticulous where I built it, and it took a lot longer to get the weapons, but I've done all that for you. I've got multiple different builds and sets that I went through, and you can modify it the way you want to play. But again, this is literally the perfect, most optimal, crazy build for you. Fourth piece we got Containment Overseer's Gloves. Gives me Anomaly Power, Status, and Skills Life Leech. Status is very important. I actually have all the pieces with status on there, and my gunner has status on there as well. So you can do the math, and I'll go through the tree with you as well. With that, Advanced Rockets, Pain Launcher. Every rocket deals 167,000 more damage, which again stacks up all the numbers. We've got Anomaly Echo on there as well, which grants 161,000 firepower on top. Again, it's a hybrid. All my god builds not only do crazy damage off Anomaly, but they also have additional firepower, because you're not always going to use your skills only. You're sometimes going to use your gun, and if you can have crazy more power, why not? So that's Anomaly Echo added on. So with Anomaly Echo, you get 150,000 Anomaly Power on top of that, and then Arms of Anomaly critical shots increase your Anomaly Power by 253,000. That's on top of the 1.2 million, on top of the other buffs on top as well. So you can work that out for yourself, and it's absolutely crazy. And with that, we did 31 million off one Scrapnel grenade. So again, I've linked that. I'll put that in the start of the video so you can see it for yourself. But again, just think about that. If you're doing 31 million off one grenade, you have 4 grenades. Over 100 million off 4 grenades, just the grenades, not including the pain launcher damage. Absolutely insane. And then on top of that, we got the Ritualist Footwear, which is bonus firepower, status power, cooldown reduction. Now, if you noticed, you have to be very meticulous with the parts. We've got status included there, so that's fine. It hasn't got anomaly power in there, but again, bonus firepower to bump up the firepower included. You can get the boots with anomaly power if you want to change it around for yourself. And again, all the pieces can be changed to suit your own playstyle, your own build. But again, this is my build, and this is an original build that I made from scratch, and everything's made meticulously to sync perfectly the way it does. So I wouldn't really change anything. If you keep it to the way I've got it, you'll have the perfect, most damage crazy build out there. But again, everyone's gonna have different pieces, I guess, when you're farming. So change pieces out to suit your own playstyle if you wish. Now with this, we got Rain of Pain, increases skills cooldown by 35%, which again works perfectly, and I'll go show you in a second. And Euthanizer as well, which obviously we're going to apply the toxin the way we got it built. So we're going to do 16% more damage anywhere and everything across the map. So all our skills are going to do toxic. You're going to do 16% more damage. So if you stack all that damage up of what you're doing off base, and then times it, we'll add on 16% more because you got everything toxic, it just goes crazy. Then at the bottom of it, we've got Unstoppable Force. Increase your anomaly power by 50% of your resistance piercing. Now, if you check the stats of what we've got, which is absolutely nuts, we got armor pierce at 40%, which is absolutely crazy. So again, you're talking about weapon damage, bonus firepower. The weapon damage hits the enemy's armor for higher damage overall. So higher armor piercing does more damage with the weapon, which you'll be using, plus bonus firepower. But on top of all that, our status power is 243%. Going higher up on the, obviously, tiers, it does decrease your status. However, the build still does crazy damage. I took it to Apocalypse tier 40, perfectly fine and viable. Still did crazy damage, still did big numbers. And again, it's not just based off that, because you have got your pain launcher as well, which does crazy damage as well. So it's not just a scrapnel, the pain launcher is doing the damage. And what's unique about this build is, which is so phenomenal, Sometimes the pain launcher outdoes the scrapnel by 100 million or so, and then sometimes the scrapnel does a pain launcher by 100 and something million or so. That's why I include all the clips, different situations where scrapnel is god tier, sometimes the pain launcher is god tier, but they both work together. That's why I say it's a very unique build. It's absolutely phenomenal. And then on top of that, we've got cooldown reduction, very, very high. I think it caps at 65. We've got 71.4, so we've already broken that. And then again, resistance pierce, very, very important. How much damage you want to do off your abilities as well. So the percentage of enemy resistance that is ignored when dealing ability damage. So again, we're doing those 4.4 million off base without doing anything. No buffs included, just that. So that will help you out do more damage. And that's why the build hits so hard and ridiculously on everything. Arbiter included. I killed the Arbiter in less than like 10 seconds. We one-shotted him as well. I've included all the clips. You can watch the trials back as well. The only thing I would say is if you want to one-shot the Arbiter, it's very situational. When you hit him with the scrapnel and the moves that knock him, he will move around, so you can't always get that mega hit. But I'll show you the gun I've used. You can add freeze or ash, and I've gone through that as well, so I'll go through that with you as well. So if anything missed up here, you can see it all there. It's just absolutely nuts. Skills life leech 38%, very high as well. Weapons life leech as well, absolutely insane. Now if you're going through the weapons, you have to be very meticulous with your gun, and that's what took me a long while to get it. Purple guns are going to be the best bet. You want armor pierce, skills life leech, and status power. Armor pierce and status are essential, because again, you want to bump up your numbers with status power depending on the tree, and I'll go through that with you as well. But armor pierce is just as important to get that resistance piercing, and all the perks I went through bumps up everything. So you have to be very key in what you get. These sync so well together that that's why the numbers are so high, and that's how ridiculous we are. Ideally, you want Fortress on there to bump up your buffs of damage. However, with the skill tree, I've added some nodes in there which will get buffed up as well, which will give you survivability. And as you can see, I ran the trials, I just dominated everything. I was even stuck at one point in the trials and I just blew up everything, and it was a piece of cake. I was not stressed whatsoever. I blew up the whole map. So like I said, World Breaker Techno, it just blows up everything. You got survivability, you got crazy DPS and damage, you are good to go. And if you watch any of my streams, you see how I dominated the whole maps and lobbies. And you took most quests, are going to take about 3 or 4 minutes. You can literally blow up everything and just run through these maps like it's nothing. But again, it all depends on your gun. But again, you ideally want Fortress on there. Now, I got Winter Blast in there for crowd control, which I mentioned this, so that syncs perfectly with this. Again, you could just use normal freeze. I've got so many guns and weapons I've gone through to test it for you. So if you haven't got access to Winter Freeze, if you look at these, you could use this. It has Armor Pierce status on there as well. Winter Blast, that's another one. There should be some more over here. I've had to change a few and delete a few, and there should be one over here that I was using as well. So yeah, this is another one. So we've got Armor Pierce status again. We've got Freeze Bullets, so you can just freeze them on the spot, do that mega damage. Firestorm, 16% more damage on frozen targets, plus the toxin. So I've tested all these for you. But yeah, ideally you want Winter Blast for that crowd control. If you can't get that, just get a single gun with freeze on it, it'll just work just fine. But again, perfect setup, you want Fortress and something with freeze. So Fortress for the buffs and the extra damage, something with freeze to get that 60% more damage. And obviously we've got Claymore Turret on there, so we got Lucky, which is absolutely phenomenal. Second gun is not required. Never even have to use Mage's Rage, so you don't have to use Mage's Rage. And if you watch my videos back at the start of the video, like I said, we one-shotted bosses in under 10 seconds without Mage's Rage. So again, I made builds without Mage's Rage, you don't even need it. That's how god tier this build, how ridiculous this build is. With Mage's Rage, you don't get a chance to use it, but if you want to use it, again, think about all the magic numbers that I've just shown you and add 40% of that with the Mage's Rage on top of that if you want to use it. I would recommend a secondary weapon like I use in the trials, something that's got like either Kinetic Stomp, Noxious Spores, better crowd control and inflicting more toxin because the status is very high. But you can use anything you want on this for your secondary, it's totally up to you. But you can use Mage's Rage, Deathronome, whatever you want to do, that's up to you. And then finally with the guns, we've got Armor Pierce and status again, which is very important. You can use something like Moaning Winds or Clip Combustion, Wrath of Mullet, status procs and explosion, so you can cause more damage and craziness on the map as well. And I'm going to go over the skills for you as well. So again, you can clearly see what I've used, but here's the numbers. So Scrapnel 4.4 million off base, again insane, absolutely crazy. And then Pain Launcher 696,000 off each rocket. But again, when you buff it, you're going to do well over $1 million off each rocket easily. And again, with the additional rockets, it's just crazy. And as you can see in the clips, how nuts it is. Then we got the Blighted Turret, so this inflicts toxin on anything anyway around the map, so that's 16% more damage. And then add this, so this does damage, this does damage, this does damage. So again, this is the first build I've actually seen that just has 3 damage skills and has defense capabilities and just dominates as well. So again, it's just crazy assault. You just don't stop. You can throw your turret out, throw your pain launcher down. So you're already doing damage with your turret. You're applying toxin to all the enemies around you. Pain launcher is going to blow up the map anyway. It's just crazy how much area it covers, especially with the other stuff on there that we've included. And then while you're doing all that, you got your shrapnel to plant around you, so you can just position your shrapnel while you're doing that. So you're pretty much invincible around that area whatsoever. Damage is just nuts. Now skill tree, again, we've got a very unique build. The usual stuff. I'll go as if we're talking for newer players. There are a lot of newer players asking for my build, and obviously some veterans as well. So again, it's an anomaly based build. So we've got anomaly fueled here, anomaly power boost there. Increase your resistance piercing, which we went through already, which will bump up the other numbers for everything else for you. Increase your anomaly power by 15% here. Resistance, that's not resistance piercing, it's a resistance against everything else. Again, when you add fortress, it will bump up your nodes, and that's why we've specifically gone for this. Because every time you use fortress and it bumps up your damage, it will also buff up your nodes in here as well, which will give you everything as well. So like I said, not only does it do crazy damage, it does crazy defense on top of that. We've got adrenalizing antenna, so when we throw the turret out, we're going to get 30% buff on top, so that's very key. So think about all those numbers that we said at the start, 1.2 million base. By throwing the turret out alone, you're going to get an additional 30% bonus of anomaly power on top of that, without even doing anything, just from throwing your turret. Also, quickly, may have just skipped that. The cooldown times, very important. We've got shrapnel at 6.5 seconds, very, very, very low, and we've got 4 of these, which is absolutely nuts. So you can actually throw one and then drop your pain launcher, which is only 7.5 seconds also. We got that very, 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 very low, super fast. And then on top of all that, our turret's at 3.5, so it's half that. So again, you've always got something to use. So ideally, you could throw a turret down, throw your pain launcher down, throw 1 or 2 shrapnels, wait for a second or two, throw another shrapnel, wait another second or so, and throw another shrapnel, and then your pain launcher's back. And that's what I'm saying with the build. It's very meticulous, and it's just god tier. You don't have any cooldown or anything. You've always got something available, and it just dominates. And then all your abilities on your gun as well. And that's why I said sometimes you want to use your gun. So let's go over this for you. So I may have just gone skip past that, but let's go back. So on here as well, so we've got more anomaly base on top of the buff, 30% buff. Then we got wipeouts. So enemies below 30% health receive 20% more damage. So on top of all that, anything that's under that percentage will just get wiped out even quicker. So the build is crazy, I'm telling you, man. So then obviously with fortress, increase your max health by 10% on top of that. Increase your armor by 20% on top of that with your fortress and the buffs. Again, high survivability, high damage, can't beat it. True god build for you. Increase your max health again on top of that. And exposing toxin, so again, turrets do damage, shrapnel does damage, pain launcher does damage. Every time toxin is inflicted on enemy, vulnerable status is inflicted as well. So that's 15% debuff on top of that. And then when you add this on top of that, it's 40% more debuff. So vulnerable inflicted enemies 40% more affected, plus the 15%, plus all your crazy damage. And that's what I'm saying, this build is crazy. So on top of all that, we got reduced ordnance skills by 15%, which is common sense. We're using shrapnel and pain launcher, that's why I got our cooldown so low. Increase your anomaly power by 15% again. Increase your anomaly power 50% again. Resistance piercing bumps by other numbers like we saw earlier. And again, we're using fortress, so it's going to bump up all our numbers on the nodes that we're using. Defense wise, it's got everything included, so that's on top of that. That's anomaly again boost. I mean, team player decrease elite damage against you. We're killing elites. We can actually, another thing, if you watch the video, we're one-shotting elites. One grenade will kill an elite, that's it. Any elite, any boss, captain, hunter, blah 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 shows up, you just throw one grenade, they're dead instantly. If you don't hit them properly, I've explained that in the video, so the links will be in the description of the video on the trials. Shrapnel is quite unique. You want to place it with a neutral thrown. You don't want to throw it over your head because it won't always hit. But if you throw it neutral, like I've shown in the videos, I've one-shotted every boss that way. You throw the grenade neutral underneath. Not only does it proc for that crazy damage, the 4 procs will hit additional. If the boss or the enemy doesn't get moved or hit and stays there, you'll kill them instantly. If they do move though, the shrapnel will hit like one piece. So imagine a bomb going off and like 4 corners getting covered. So if the boss is on the side, you'll only hit 2 clusters. So that can happen, but I've included that for you. But again, you got 4 grenades to do that, plus your pain launcher, plus your turret. So again, elites are minor, captains are minor, and every boss gets one-shotted as well. Again, anomaly fueled, increase your non-power by 50% on top. And then again, Tech 1, advance, activate ordnance skills, increase your anomaly power by 50%. 50%. So again, when you throw a shrapnel down and you have 4, or your turret, you get 50% on top of all these buffs of base. and then you throw your turret down, so you get 80% anomaly buffs off these two alone. So again, just crazy buffs and damage and everything. So true guide build for you. So Pack's skill tree, we've gone for Technomancer, deal 260, so 250,000 damage when you hit somebody. So where I mentioned freeze damage does more damage, 16%. Even if you can't get a crit headshot, you can always melee a crowd, and they'll be frozen, and then you get 250,000 damage anywhere off base because the anomaly is so high, and then they'll take 16% more damage off all your attacks. And you can use that on the bosses, any boss. You can use it on the Arbiter as well. So if you do miss headshots in the Arbiter, you can freeze him, get a bit more damage. As you can see in my videos, if you watch my streams daily, you see me like killing the Arbiter in like 10 seconds or under roughly, just dominating, just destroying it. And again, I've included the clips for you to see the damage there. So on top of that, initial striker, activating skills, increase your anomaly power or firepower by 10% 5 seconds. Again, the anomaly power is over 1 million, 1.2 million off base, so you're going to activate that. So again, it's another buff for anomaly power on top. Then we got this again, which is absolutely nuts. Your ordnance gadget skills inflicts toxin. Enemies hit, deal a 5% anomaly power as damage toxin refresh. Now again, we have 4 scrapnels, so it's going to refresh every time it hits. But when it hits like a tank. Not only that, the toxin ticks hit crazy. I think we was counting it before, over 250,000 damage over ticks. So even if you hit something for mega damage with your main skill, which is scrapnel, which is heavy, the toxin off that, because the status is 250, let's say, argument's sake, around that area, 240 something, still very high. The ticks will do crazy damage over time as well. So not only are you hitting super hard, your proc's going to hit super hard. Pain launcher shoots at a lot, over 1 million per rocket. Again, that will refresh. So imagine every toxin getting applied to that. Those two just go crazy, and that's where the damage comes in crazy with the numbers, with the ticks over time as well as raw damage. So that's where it gets crazy for you. Painkiller, damaging an enemy grants you 2% health regeneration. So again, not too much for like damage, but survivability. It keeps you topped up, keeps you tanked. And again, if you're shooting rocks across the map using a turret, scrapnel, you can keep in the pocket. Your interrupt skill removes effect resistance for hit from elite, 7 seconds cooldown for that. This is phenomenal. Obviously, when you're fighting hunters, captain hunters, elites, all the other, stronger, even the arbiter included, you just bully him, drop a scrapnel down, you hit him, he goes to the left, he goes to the right. You can make him dance. It's kind of funny. I made some memes on a stream about it, just trolling him. However, what's kind of important as well, a little tip for arbiter: if you want to kill the arbiter in one rotation, super quick, you have to be very smart. And if you watch the Dr. Detonator, the way I did it, same sort of thing applies. You can throw the turret behind the arbiter, so you're going to do that 30% buff. You want to throw a grenade behind the arbiter and not have that activate. Then you want to throw one grenade in front of the arbiter. So what will happen is, while that's going on, you want to throw one on the left of the arbiter and then one on the right. So what he will do is, you'll proc the first grenade, so he'll hit him from the front, he'll go backwards. The second grenade will proc him forwards again. However, if you time it just right and you place grenades on the left and right perfect, he'll hit for all 4 clusters in like a few seconds. So like bang, 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 bang. He won't be able to move anywhere. While that's happening, drop your pain launcher in the middle and your turret. So your turret will do damage, your pain launcher will do damage, and then you want to headshot crit him while you're doing that with freeze, and he'll take all that extra damage while he's frozen in one go. So like bang, 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 and he'll just die instantly. And I've done that in every single boss. I've done it on stream, so you can watch my streams back if you want to see me do it there, but it's absolutely nuts, and that's what's crazy about this. So, and it will interrupt anything that they're doing, so you can literally just bully anybody, anyone in the game, and destroy them and have them correct. It's just funny to watch, it's just hilarious. And the last one is your ordnance skills damage is increased by 100% of your status power, and that goes to scrapnel, that goes to pain launcher. Now, like I said to you before, look at my inventory of my stats. Now, 250% was 243.6. It has been knocked down a little bit because we're on the Apocalypse tier 30. It will go down as the higher Apocalypse tier you go, but like I said before, it's not just based on scrapnel, it's based on pain launcher as well. And obviously the 16% damage and the debuffs, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. You're still going to hit crazy, you're still going to do millions and millions and millions of damage. And a lot of people are new at the game, so they might want to write this early, but again, it's just crazy and it's just nuts to build itself. Absolutely insane. And I've took it to Apocalypse tier 40, like I said, dominates and destroys, and a lot of people still ask me for my builds after I get playing with them. So again, we covered everything for you. I'm going to go for the Ascension tree just quickly as well. Ideally, obviously it's an anomaly build, so you want to get these. These are essential to bump up your other numbers. So anomaly power, resistance spears we've already covered. Skills life leech, again, you can look into that and how much skills life leech it does, and that takes off more. Skills life leech, very important, because it will give you that HP back, that survivability. It does more damage, takes more from them, gives you back more as well. So this all stacks up. Status power as well, anomaly damage. Now this is important, armor pierce, because that will bump up your other numbers like I said before. We haven't had to use any of these whatsoever because we're not really focused on firepower, but obviously the more higher Ascension points you can add these to do more damage. Again, we got bonus firepower so you can add more damage overall. Cooldown time, obviously we got it 70 something percent, 74 I believe. So this would be essential if you need it. We don't even need this really, but we've got it on there because we just want to make sure everything's maxed out to make it optimal for what we're doing. You won't need any of these whatsoever, but again, you can add them when you want to. And I've added this on purpose. I never really need to use it too much, but as Technomancer, everyone knows, it can be kind of like weak on certain parts of maps and stuff and everything, and you want to get your HP back. So healing receive, got that maxed out, so you're constantly topped up, you're constantly attacking like a beast and just hitting hard, throwing those scrapnels and just wall breaking the whole map basically, and just destroying and nuking the whole map in general. So again, you can add these if you want. So we've already got them on the packs tree anyway. Mitigation bonus and all the rest of the bonuses, so you don't need to add anything else for you. But yeah, that kind of covers everything for you. Like I said before, absolutely god tier build, fresh, original, gone for the trees, gone for the points, gone for the Ascension. Every piece has status on there, hence why our status is so ridiculously high. Again, 4 anomaly buffs on the build, so again, when you get into the game, you're sitting at 1.2 million, add on 4 buffs, and those buffs go crazy, and danger close goes insane, because if you get all your buffs on, and you really grant 6% anomaly power bonus for each enemy in close range. So think about all your buffs, work out your main, so you'll be a couple of million anomaly power, and 6% of that times 4 will buff you up even more crazy. And then again, we haven't sacrificed a single thing whatsoever, there's no dead mods whatsoever, we've got everything boosted, so everything is a true god build. And like I said before folks, I put a lot of time and effort into these videos and these guides and builds and everything I do. So if it takes me a little bit longer, I'll do that, but I'm never releasing no dead mod build or whack-ass build that claims it does this and does that. I not only show you the build in action, but I always prove it. So again, if you like the video, I get a lot of likes and videos and comments and that, so just make sure you like and support the content. My Twitch will be in the description below as well. I was doing carries every day for Outriders for the community. I've done hundreds and hundreds of carries for the community. I've helped a lot of players, help people with builds, giving them tips and tricks. I've carried a lot of people through story skips and just building the characters in general. But I am busy streaming a lot of the games, and my community likes me, like myself. I enjoy doing variety streams, so I'm playing Monster Hunter Rise. I'm dominating that. Within a week, I've already beat the game. I've already beat the DLC. I'm actually waiting for the new DLC to come out. Other games I'm beating and playing as well. So Dead by Daylight, I'm playing that with the viewers as well. So I do so many different games. But yeah, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. The links will be in the description below. Like I said, it is 5:30 in the morning now. I done a 5-hour stream. I work really hard. I do a lot of work, you know what I mean? I do charity work as well, so make sure you join the support the streams. It's always for a good cause. That's CAPTAINP67 on Twitch. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask me. Again, if you do see me streaming other games and you still want help on Outriders, that's fine, man. Just join the stream. Got any questions, I can give you live help on any game whatsoever. But yeah, I'm going to wait until they actually add more new content or DLC for Outriders, because I feel like it's in a stagnant place at the moment, and I've done everything I need to do. 4 builds I've covered, 4 unique builds I've built from scratch. I farmed all the pieces on my own, I've done it by hard work obviously. No rushing, no skipping, got all the weapons as well, made sure everything's maxed out, no dead mods whatsoever. And again, I put in all the research and the hours of work and the dedication just to bring these builds for you. So again, if you enjoy the content, like the content, subscribe to content. If you want to donate and support further, the links will be in the description below on my Twitch profile, so you can do it through there. And again, thanks for all the subs and donations I've got. A lot of people do enjoy the content and love what I do, and love my original work as well. But again, if you've got any questions, let me know. But I've covered everything for you. Again, if I missed anything, let me know, it's not a problem. But like I said, it is 5 o'clock in the morning, and I've already done a 5-hour stream. Before I get off as well with this video, I did go through all the pieces. I found multiple pieces to test this build for you. So as you can see, I've found so many different pieces trying to test different things. I mixed a few builds around, and I've checked everything, but this literally is the most optimal of optimal builds and best you're going to get. We could have had a Captain Hunter a few things, but I did test them all out, and I just thoroughly tested it out. But again, you can build it how you want to build it. I've checked all the pieces. I've gone through so many different pieces and ways you could have built it, but build it to suit your own play style and how you want to play. And if you're feeling a bit negged out, you can't get the piece you want, just change a few pieces around. It's still going to hit like a crazy amount of damage. It's still going to blow up the map, whatever you do for the build. As long as you build it with the key attributes I've told you to build it, you're just going to blow up the map. You're going to nuke the whole game, and you're chilling. and you definitely get a lot of friend requests and people asking you about the build. But again, give credit where credit's due. Like I said before, if you see an original build from a creator, make sure you shout them out. This is my builds, just like my other builds. Make sure you let people know this is my build and I made this from scratch. That's on me. And they obviously give credit where credit's due. And that's all I ask, man. I put a lot of time and effort into these things. All I'm asking is give respect where it's due. I've made these builds. I put the time and effort in. So if you do share the build with people, just let them know where it came from. And obviously I'll gladly help. And if there's any other new tech coming out and you want to see some new original tech from me, just let me know and I got you as well. So yeah, CAPTAINP67 on Twitch, CAPTAINP67 on YouTube. Make sure you follow my accounts and I'll pop all the links in the description below. But that's it. Super OP God build from me as I do, and super original and just super crazy world breaker techno from me. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoy. Thank you again for all your time and I appreciate you. Peace out.